Welcome back, guys. So we finished up that first model. Now we're going to be working on the second model, which will probably be wall panel 2. So let's go to File, Import, and let's import that high poly. OBJ. Let's go to where we stored it. So wall panel 2. And actually, since we're done with the high poly of the first version, I'll probably go back and delete that so we will know which ones we don't have to do. So I'll grab wall panel 2, import, and I'll middle mouse scroll to zoom out. And remember, we have to hit N on the keyboard, and we have to change the view in clip to 4,000 meters. Now we see this. Now it's time to retopologize this. So remember, hit Shift A, go to Mesh, and let's bring in our cube. Hit S to scale, and then we'll type something like 200. Left click, and now we'll start to better position this to match this model. And remember, we want to hit Tab to enter edit mode. And we can go to this icon here, which is the face select, and we can use this tool to move this to match it. That looks good. Somewhere around here. Go around the back, grab this piece. And remember, guys, I don't typically use this method of retopology. I have an add-on called RetopFlow, but I understand not everyone has that, so that's why I'm doing this way, because this is an option you can do in any modeling program, and that way more people are able to follow along a lot easier. So now what I want to do is add some edge loops. So I'll hit Control R, select this vertical line, and I want to add it somewhere around here. Hit Control R once again, and I'll add one above, which will be right about here. And then I'll add 2 more edge loops going vertically. So Control R, and I'll choose this horizontal line, or at the top, doesn't matter. And I'll line this up around here. And I'll add one more. Control R, and I can bring this wherever I want to bring it, and I think I'll bring this in somewhere around here. Now that I have that, I can go to face mode or face select, select this interface here, and hit E on the keyboard. Now I can bring this into around here. Now I can hit Tab, and I'll just hide the high poly. So all I can see is this, and this is exactly what we want. We want a giant wall shape with a cut that goes through the inside, like a little extrusion area that goes inwards. And we're going to do some quick UVs on this by going to UV editing. Let's middle mouse scroll out so we can see this. And let's hit A to select all faces, and then we can hit U, then go to Unwrap Smart UV Project, and hit OK. Now we have this done correctly. Now we can hit Tab, and let's go back to the layout menu. And we're done with the low poly, so we can change the name to wall panel 2 underscore low. Hit enter. And now we can actually export out this low poly into the low poly section. So File, and make sure you have it selected. Have the low poly selected, and go to File, Export, OBJ, and let's go to the directory where the low poly is stored. Low poly, and I do want to check this. Remember, selection only. Now we can hit. We can save the name as wall panel 2 underscore low. Hit export OBJ twice, once, twice. Now we're done with the low poly. Now we have to dynamesh or remesh inside of Blender. And now we have our high poly. So if I want to hit tab, you can see this triangulation that we can't use. And while we're in edit mode, I'm going to add that remesher in the modifier and add a remesher. Remember, we don't want it on voxel, we want it on sharp. I'm going to change the count to something like 10. And then we're going to go from edit to object mode so we can apply it, because we can't apply modifiers in object mode. So now we can hit this drop down, go to apply, and give it a second. Now if we hit tab, we can see that it's been applied because the triangulation will be gone and it's nice and dense like we did with the previous model. Now we can export this wall panel 2 out. So we'll go to File, Export, OBJ, and we're going to go to the high poly and we're going to override wall panel 2 high. So wall panel 2 underscore high, select that and ensure the limit to is selection only checked. Now we can export it. And we are done inside of Blender with this model. In most cases, you want to do them all in one scene instead of going one by one, but just to ensure that everyone can follow, because I don't know how everyone's PC is in their specs and I don't want to confuse anyone, so we're going to just do one at a time. And I'll catch you guys over on Substance Painter.